Good morning, and thank you for coming to Story Hour with Book and Puppet Company. Today, we're going to be reading another of our Asian American Pacific Islander stories. This actually is a story from South India, which is in Asia. And some people who are Asian American have families who are in India right now. Now, it's a very sunny day outside, so you might not be thinking about rain today. But sometimes the rain comes down. It would not usually wash your house away. But sometimes the rain is so much it can actually make your house go. Not usually. Sometimes there's just too much rain and it turns into a flood. And here, if you look at this picture, you can see a flood of water. Look at all this blue water going... Because it's raining so much that so much water came down, and they came down in the streams from the mountains. And the people in this story are here. They are inside of something floating on the water. And animals are there too. And what do you think that this thing is that they are in? It is like a boat that floats on the water. But it is not a boat. It is not a boat. It is actually... It's a pumpkin is what it is. You usually only see them around Halloween. This is a pumpkin, and it's a very big pumpkin. Even an elephant can sit on top of this particular pumpkin. And there's the stem coming out. And who else is sitting on it? Who else is on this pumpkin? Can you see who else is on this pumpkin? A pig is on this pumpkin. And who else is sitting on this pumpkin? A cow or a bull is sitting on this pumpkin. And let's see. Oh, it looks like a sheep is sitting on this pumpkin. And here are some people are sitting. An elephant is inside of this pumpkin. I don't know why all these people are riding on and in a big pumpkin that's floating on the water. If this was your bathtub, then you could have a pumpkin and there would be an elephant on your pumpkin in your bathtub. And let's read this book. It's called Patan's Pumpkin, a traditional flood story from southern India. And if I take the top, look at this. This is very interesting. Ready? It's kind of weird, isn't it? It's like the same thing. Wait a minute. It's the thing inside of the thing. It's kind of weird. Okay, and here are a lot of pumpkins. Let's count the pumpkins. 1, 2, 9, 4, 2, 1, 6, 9, 3, 1, 6. Oh no, I got stuck. Oh, what? You do it. Okay. What? 2, what? 3, 4, what? 5. Oh, 6, 7. Okay, 7 pumpkins. Okay, let's read the story, okay? Well, hopefully there won't be any counting in this story. Okay, it's called Patan's Pumpkin. And look, they're riding on elephant. They're on top of an elephant, these kids. They're riding on it. Do you want to? Would you do it? By Chitra Soundar, illustrated by Frane Lassac. Once upon a time... Oh, just a second. Once upon a time, there was a man named Patan. Oh, here's the man. He lived with his wife Connie. Here's Connie, and here's Patan. See? Connie is there, and Patan is there. And they lived on the banks of a mighty river that galloped down the Sahyadri mountains. They tended their goats, fed their bulls, and rode the... I know! The elephants that roamed their lands. I think the elephants are the... Oh, this elephant is taking a bath. I think the elephants are the best part. I would like to ride on this elephant. And here's a baby elephant, too, that's holding onto the mommy by the tail. This river is coming down from the mountains. See, they're in the valley, and the mountain is up here. There's the Sahyadri Mountains. One day. Oh, just a second. One day, Patan found an ailing plant in the valley. It had beautiful yellow flowers. I'll plant it by my hut and look after it, he thought. Okay, let's plant the plant. Dig, 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 dig. Are you planting the plant? Dig, 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 dig. Put the seed into the hole you just made. Bing! Thank you. I'll plant it by my hut. Oh, this is his hut. It's actually a very nice hut. I'd say this is more like a house than a hut. And look after it, he thought. I think that both he and Nani are looking after it. The plant liked its new home. Oh, here's the plant. Its yellow flowers smiled at the sun. Look, Patan called one day, a pumpkin has started to grow. See, because there's the plant. The plant went like this. Because it's growing. Bing! What's that? A pumpkin has started to grow. And look at all the animals are looking at the pumpkin too. See, the elephant is looking at the pumpkin, and the baby. Oh, what? A deer is there. A deer is looking at the pumpkin, and what's this? The pig is looking at. Everybody's looking at that pumpkin. Oh, she has a baby deer. And all these cows. Everybody's looking at the pumpkin. This is some pumpkin. You want to say some pumpkin? Some pumpkin. Dahlia's here. Dahlia, it's very exciting because there's a pumpkin. Woo! This is the most exciting pumpkin I ever saw. I don't actually know why it's so exciting. So far, it's not clear why the pumpkin is so exciting. I mean, they just planted the pumpkin and then suddenly the pumpkin grew. So I think that's why. A horse is here. What, is that a horse?
Yeah, because it's just excited.
I know, and the elephant is excited, and the horse is excited. Everybody's excited about the pumpkin! Woo! Because this book is called Patan's Pumpkin.
His name is Bulga.
What?
His name is Bulga.
Bulgup?
Bulga.
Hi, Bulga. Is he going to neigh to me? Hi, Bulga.
No, he just neighs.
Oh, okay. Well, anyway, everybody's very excited because this book is called Patan's Pumpkin, and here is when it was just a little baby pumpkin, because they just planted it. The pumpkin grew a little every day. It's taller than the goats now, said Connie. The pumpkin had grown taller than the fence, too. It was even fatter than the pigs. It grew some more. Patan had to climb on an elephant to see the top of the pumpkin. What? This is weird. This pumpkin is getting unusually large. I mean, it's good to have a big pumpkin, but... And still it grew bigger and bigger and bigger. It's actually rather large. The next day, dark clouds gathered. Rain crashed against the rocks in fury. Oh no, it started to rain. Patan was afraid that the floods would wash away his hut. Oh, do you think that the flood is going to wash? I mean, he has a very nice hut. I thought it looked like a house. In this page, it's not raining. We should leave the mountains tomorrow, he said. Oh, he wants to get away. You know, because sometimes, like, there's a hurricane. Like, did you ever hear about a hurricane? Have you ever heard of a hurricane?
No.
hurricane is like a rainstorm that is so big that it's too much rain and like houses can get knocked over. There, in fact, here's a picture of lightning and rain coming down. It's too much rain. We should leave the mountains tomorrow. Nay, I know. Even a horse would have to go because if there's too much rain. We should take all the animals.
Burka has to go.
Burka
still lives here.
A lamb came too. Look, see, all the animals there are all going to be in danger because of too much rain. And so that's why Patan said, we should take all the animals. Look, he has pictures of the animals on his wall. He loves them so much. He has pictures of himself riding on the elephant there. And I think he and Connie are together. We should take all the animals, birds, beetles, and bugs with us, and a sapling of every plant and seeds of every grain. Look who's sleeping under his bed.
What the?
I know, the pig is there inside his house.
And the deer.
A deer is sleeping under his bed inside of his house.
I pretend deer are wolves.
Do you think that this is a real deer?
No, I think that's a goat. And the other one's a wolf. Right there.
A wolf is there? Wait a minute. Who is this sleeping on the bed?
I think the wolf is.
A wolf?
A baby one.
Oh. As long as it's a baby, it's all right. A sapling of every plant and seeds of every grain. Wow. But how were they going to take all of the creatures with them? Patan couldn't sleep that night. When the pumpkin glowed like fire under a burst of lightning, he had an idea. See, he's looking out his window. Out the window, he sees the giant pumpkin that grew outside, and lightning shows it. So how is he going to leave his house because of the rain and take all the animals and plants? How can he do that? He has an idea. Okay, here's his idea. Bing! Did you ever have a really good idea like that? It's like a light bulb going off in your head. Bing! I don't actually say bing when I have a really good idea. In the morning, Patan reached for his axe. Ooh. Do you have an axe, Dahlia?
No.
Does anybody out there have an axe?
No, we didn't bring one.
Oh no, we're not going to be able to do it. But luckily, Patan has an axe. It's time to harvest the pumpkin, he said. Battling the lashing rain, Patan climbed the mountain. The birds and animals followed him. Then Patan jumped on top of the pumpkin. See, the pumpkin is so big now that to get on top of it, he has to climb the mountain next to the pumpkin and then jump onto the pumpkin. Then Patan jumped on top of the pumpkin. He cut a big hole in it and dived into its orange flesh. Okay, let's cut the hole. Thank you. Wait a minute. I have to make sure your picture is a little bit bigger so everyone can see you cutting. Okay, let's cut. Oh, the horse is cutting too?
Gorna.
Thank you, Gorna, for helping to cut the pumpkin. And now Patan went into the hole that he made in the pumpkin. See, just his feet are sticking out. Why did he do that? Why did he go in the hole in the pumpkin?
Because he had an idea. No!
The birds called out in fear. The goats bleated. You want to bleat?
And the horses neighed.
The horses neighed. The bulls snorted. The horses neighed. Everybody neighed. Neigh! Patan dug into the pumpkin, hollowing out its insides. Oh, he's hollowing it out. Help me, he called. The goats, the bulls, and the birds, and the horse ferried out the pumpkin flesh that as fast as they could. So there's Patan. He's inside, and the horse is helping, and the goats are helping, and the deers and the bulls. They're all taking this orange. The elephants are helping. The bulls, they're taking it's like a jack-o'-lantern. It's just like at Halloween where you have to empty the pumpkin out. Like you cut the inside of the pumpkin out, so it's going to be an empty pumpkin. Even this elephant is helping to empty. They're emptying the pumpkin out, so it's going to be empty. The wind blew hard, rocking the pumpkin from side to side. But Patan did not give up. He dug and dug until the pumpkin was hollow. At last, it was big enough for inside for everyone. Oh, so it's like a jack-o'-lantern. He emptied it out completely. So it's a hollow pumpkin. Thank you very much for helping, Horsey. Down in the valley, Connie filled sacks with grain, seeds, and herbs. Here's Connie. She's getting ready. There's a lot of water there. It's a real flood because of all of the rain. Patan loaded them onto the goats, elephants, and bulls and brought them up the mountainside. So they've got to go back up to where the top of the pumpkin grew so big. You have to climb a mountain now to get to the top of the pumpkin. Hurry! Climb in! Patan cried. The dark evening skies cradled the mountain in darkness. We must leave before nightfall, said Patan, cutting the prickly stem from the plant. Oh, see, now he's using his axe, and he's cutting the stem, which held the pumpkin to where it was growing. See, he cut the stem. Let's do it. And now people are climbing inside, like there's Nani climbing inside with a pig, and the elephant climbed inside, and this bull is climbing inside, and this pig is climbing inside. They're climbing down the stem, and they're climbing to the inside of the pumpkin. Oh, so the pumpkin was free. It rolled down the mountain and bounced into the river. Okay, here it goes rolling. And bounced. Here it goes bouncing. A boing, a boing, a boing, a boing, a boing. Did you want to bounce? A boing, a boing, a boing, a boing, a boing, a boing. It bounced into the river. The crested waters of the river carried the pumpkin along. Look at this. The pumpkin is floating on the river because it's hollow, so it's floating. And inside of the pumpkin are these elephants and Patan and Nani and the goat and the bird. They are all inside of the pumpkin and they're floating along on the river.
What about the horse?
The horse is inside of the pumpkin. Nee! Oh, boom. There it goes. The pumpkin is floating on the river and everybody's in the pumpkin. Do you want to go in a pumpkin boat?
No, that would be silly. The pumpkin, we're too big to live in a pumpkin.
This pumpkin is big enough for you. You can go.
No, that's just make-believe.
Make-believe?
Yes, that's just make-believe. It's not a real book.
This is a book. A book tells you what happened. It's a true story, I think.
No, it's just pretend.
Oh. Well, maybe the pretend you and the pretend me could go into this pretend book.
No, you can't. You can't. No.
Many a day and night must have passed. No one counted. It rained and rained and rained. Connie sang a lullaby to soothe the baby animals and birds. Okay, here goes the lullaby. While the gods of rain and thunder send us a storm, here inside the pumpkin we are safe and warm. One day we will return to our mountain peak, but in this great darkness, light is what we seek. See, it's a very, very calming lullaby. And all the animals love Connie. And there's the deer. And here's a frog that loves Connie. And a snail loves Connie.
Wolf.
And look who else loves Connie.
The wolf.
The wolf loves Connie. What wolf?
I just pretend there's a wolf in there.
Oh, okay. And these elephants, and the baby elephant loves Connie, and the baby deer loves Connie, and everybody loves her. She's like their mommy singing to them.
And the horse.
The horse loves Connie. Everybody loves Connie. She's like a mommy. All the animals.
She is a mommy.
Are you the mommy of all the animals?
No, my mom is a mommy of all the animals.
Oh, that's very good. And then, one day, the pumpkin bumped against something and stopped. Patan climbed out into a bright and sunny day. "We've reached the plains," he called joyfully. Connie and all the creatures hurried out. Here they come. Even this pig is coming down. And even this bull is coming down. And the horse came down. And the wolf came down. And all the pigs came down into the water. "We've reached the plains." You want to say we've reached the plains?
It's the plane.
Yay! Connie and all the creatures hurried out. The troubles of the rain were finally over. "The pumpkin has saved us," said Connie. "The animals and birds basked in the sunshine." Yay! The pumpkin saved them! Yay! The next morning, Patan gathered everyone together. "It's time to return home," he said. I guess they left the pumpkin behind and they went and built a new house. Back in the valley, they built... Oh, yeah. See, I actually didn't need to say that because it says it in the words. Back in the valley, they built a new house by the river. "I'm forever grateful to the pumpkin," Patan said, as he planted the single pumpkin seed he had saved. Oh, look, he's planting there's going to be another baby pumpkin. I don't know if that next pumpkin is going to grow quite as big. And here's all the animals looking as he plants the pumpkin seed because the pumpkin saved them from the rain. And so they could go home again. And there's Connie inside of the house. I think they had to build a completely new house. It looks exactly like their old house, by the way. I guess that they really liked their old house because when they built another house, they built the same kind of house. Let's just check here. See, here's a picture of their old house, and here's a picture of their new house, and they didn't even change anything. And here's the bird. The bird is very happy to be home too. And here's an elephant, and this elephant is taking a bath by squirting water on top of itself. Do you like to squirt water on yourself in the bath?
And there's the horse.
The horse there's an invisible horse. Yay, says the invisible horse.
I'm just pretending the horse and the wolf.
And the invisible wolf are in the horse and the wolf are in the book. Patan and Connie had many children. Whoa, there come the children. Wait a minute, how many children did they have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Wait a minute, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Wait a minute, 15. Wait a minute, 16. They had too many children. They all made their homes in the foothills of the Sahyadri Mountains. Oh, look, they all got houses that they made. Let's count the houses. 1, 2, 6, 4, 2, 9, 3, 6, 9, 11, 14, 17, 32, 87, 100! Even today, Patan's descendants live in this valley, looking after their animals and growing pumpkins. They remember Patan and Connie with reverence and love. So everybody loves Patan and Connie, and they love the elephants, and they love... But mostly I think that they remember the pumpkin. And that is the end of the story about the amazing pumpkin, Patan's pumpkin. So just remember, if it ever starts to rain, just get a pumpkin and get in the pumpkin and just sit there in your bathtub in your pumpkin and wait because soon you'll go floating around on the river. And thank you for coming for Story Hour. And thank you, Dahlia. And thank you for everybody who came for Story Hour. And thank you, Dorga the horse.
Okay. Nah.
Nay. Bye.